Hi everyone! For today's video, I'm going to talk about how to choose a Bible. This is not something I'm an expert at. This is something that I've learned through my own experience. These are some of my own opinions and what works for me, what I use, and I just want to share that in the hopes that it'll help someone else choose a Bible that will help them. Some of the things I'm going to go over in today's video are what the different translations that I've used before are, what that means. I'm also going to go over a couple different types of Bibles that I own. And one note that I want to make is before I had any experience with Bibles, I did not really understand what Old Testament and New Testament meant. The Old Testament is actually from the creation to the last prophet in the book is Malachi. Malachi means my messenger, and what he did was tell about a new covenant God was going to have with people, which is Jesus. The New Testament begins with Jesus' life, goes through his life, his ministry, his death, his resurrection, and then how his disciples spread his word and grew the church, started the church, how we could live like Christ, and then it goes through to Revelation. This is what you're hearing. Hi. But the first Bible I got was from my college. They were passing them out outside of the food court, a group of students, and I just thought it was really cool. This Bible is actually the New King James Version, and it's only the New Testament and Psalms and Proverbs, which Psalms and Proverbs are two books of wisdom, and Psalms is songs, Proverbs are kind of sound like riddles or to make you think. And I thought this was cool because in the beginning it says help in a time of need, and then like say you're feeling lonely, it says Psalm 23, Psalm 27:10, and it gives you things you could read within the book that would make you feel better. The first Bible I actually asked for came from my mom, and it is a one-a-day Bible. And I asked for this Bible for Christmas because my mom and brother had been working in a one-a-day Bible, and I thought it might help me to have motivation and guidance on how to read it. I actually started this Bible and did the first few days many times before I stuck with it. March 9th, 2017, I have it written in here, my husband, he was only my boyfriend at the time, and I both started reading through a one-a-day Bible. So I found him the same exact Bible. They do have a men's version, but I got a neutral version because the days completely lined up. What's cool about this Bible is it gives you a piece of the Old Testament and the New Testament each day. It follows the order, but it breaks it into small chunks. So day 10 has Genesis 21, and then it has a piece of the New Testament, which is Matthew 8:23. And then it also has either a piece from Psalms or Proverbs. So this one has Psalms 7:10. We made it pretty far in this Bible. We did to day 96, and then we kind of moved on. We felt more comfortable reading through one book at a time rather than a small section from 3 different books. So we moved out of these Bibles and into a more traditionally organized Bible. First Bible I bought myself. I went into the Christian bookstore. I didn't know that there was going to be a ton of different translations. I kind of thought I was just going to go in and buy a Bible and that was it. Like, I just thought there was like one kind. To my surprise, there were like 4 or 5 rows of Bibles. I started to browse through and open them a little bit and look for language, and I finally just settled on a Bible because I recognized the New King James Version. So this is my Bible. I bought this case for it while I was there too. I think the reason I went with that was because I heard of King James Version before, heard of New King James Version before, but I thought, oh, new, might be easier to understand, because I know in the King James Version, commonly I hear there's a lot of language that is kind of harder to understand. So I went with the New King James Version. This Bible is with the red letters. I didn't know if that meant either. That means the words of Jesus in the New Testament are written in red. That's it. One thing I really liked about this Bible is in the beginning of each book, there is some background information on what you're going to be reading, and it's an introduction, and it really helps you. As I was speaking, I just remembered something else that really confused me before I really understood what it meant to be reading in the Bible, and that is when people would say the different books of the Bible. So the Bible is made up of many books written by many authors. Each one of these tabs is a different book. So when people say different books of the Bible, that's what they're referring to. Just wanted to add that little side note because I didn't know that. And that is something that really confused me, just like Old Testament and New Testament. So I did put Bible tabs on this. This really helps because I don't know the order of the Bible. I still don't know it by heart. So when I'm looking for a certain book in like a Bible study or something, I can easily find it and access it. So this book is what we went to next when we started just reading the Bible without the one-a-day Bible. And then I was gifted this Bible. This is a NLT Bible, which is New Living Translation, and it's a coloring Bible. I quickly learned that the New Living Translation was easiest for me to understand. So I think I looked up before, and I want to say New Living Translation at a reading level is somewhere in like high school reading level. I am a reader, I read a lot, but having this very simplified version to start with was a big help for me. And I'm an artist, so I loved having the coloring elements on it. I loved to color once I finished reading through that section, kind of like as a marker of how much I've read. It was exciting to me to get to color in an area once I read it and really visualize how much I was reading. Another feature of this Bible is it has a space for note-taking to the side of it. This Bible does not have the red letters, and I kind of liked having the red letters. So I've been using a colored pencil to go over Jesus's words myself. Whenever I was studying in this Bible, I would always use Bible study guides, and they would really help to guide me. This is actually like my favorite brand of Bible study guides, the Life Guide Bible Studies. It has questions where you fill in the blank with your answers. Some of them are your interpretation of what you read. Some of them are asking you questions where the answers are plainly written in the text. And it just helps to focus your mind on what you're reading so that you're understanding and learning from it and finding ways to grow with what you've read instead of just checking off that you've read the page. The Bible is just very beautiful. It has like a colorful edge of flowers. I did also add tabs to this one, and I've learned so much in this Bible. While I was using these two Bibles, my husband and I were just sharing and reading together. Once I had this Bible, we really wanted our own Bibles so that we could read together, but at our own pace. So what he was doing was starting to shop for a Bible. And I really encouraged him to figure out what translation works the best for him. So we had already been reading NIV, New King James Version, and the NLT. The original Bibles were written in Hebrew and Greek. we do not read Hebrew or Greek. Many say that the King James Version is the truest. And I want to say the NLT is phrase by phrase translated. So a sentence at a time. The NIV, I believe, is word for word. So I think that that's even more accurate than the NLT. And then the New King James Version is supposedly the most accurate. Within the YouVersion Bible app, you can compare verses. So I just chose a few different popular verses that we would recognize and selected it, hit compare, different versions, NIV, NLT, New King James, ESV, which is English Standard Version, I believe. So I read each sentence to him and then had him choose, and then I wrote down which version he chose. And then I wrote another verse and then had him choose. And he was pretty much between NLT and NIV. I think it was half and half. So he ultimately chose to go with the NLT because that's the Bible that I had. That way we were reading the same thing word for word and we could more easily discuss it. So we got him the Every Man's Bible, and this Bible is really cool because it does have articles and information added in. In the beginning of each book, it has a little overview of what that book is about, and it has a lot of things directed towards men. So once my husband had the study Bible, I thought it was very cool how much information it was packed with. I would read his extra explanations and information once we completed a chapter, and I really wanted my own study Bible that would be geared towards women. So I did find, after a lot of research, the Woman's Study Bible. This Bible is a new international version. I wanted to stick with the NLT, but I really liked what I saw in YouTube videos when people were showing off this Bible, and it's really enriched with a lot of information. I like the articles it includes. At the bottom of every page, it has information on what's happening and what you're reading. And with just having a baby, I thought it would be more accessible to have the articles, the extra information, all within my Bible of what I'm reading instead of having to have a study guide and my Bible at the same time. Plus this was a little smaller, and I got the softback version so that if he's napping and I'm holding him, I can have it there and it's not as bulky. I did start to put my tabs on here, but I didn't finish yet. But I kept this Bible for a couple of months without the tabs, and it was really a struggle for me because I did a lot of flipping, especially during small group. When I wanted to get somewhere quickly, I couldn't. So I decided I wanted to add tabs to this. So this Bible is great because of all of the extra content that add to and enrich. It has information in the front about the author, the date, the background, and themes, and an outline of what you're going to be reading, and it's just really helpful and enriching. Two other Bibles we have another one-year Bible that was gifted to me, and that is NIV version, and we have a New King James Version, and this was gifted me by my grandmother. That's all the information I have on how to choose a Bible. I hope it's helpful, and I hope that it get answers from... He just waved to you, and it was on camera. He's waving. Wave, say hi. Hi. Hi, Daddy. This little boy has been so distracting when I'm trying to make this video. tips on how to choose a Bible. I hope that it helps you make a decision on what kind of Bible would be best for you. And if you're not sure, you could read the free YouVersion app Bible for a very long time and switch different versions. They have plenty of plans and studies that will help guide you. That's all for our video for today. And now I can say like and subscribe. Bye. You are so crazy.